And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at for you, and again, happy birthday because this is still being recorded during your season, is the first and last for the month of September. The top layer, the aces, the bottom layer, the tens. The aces here defining, things that are new, opportunities, ventures, things you want to go on, right? And the bottom of the same element corresponding represents culminations, conclusions, endings, things of that nature. So, as a preamble to all my reads, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. Because at times, even if it's difficult, it's something that we want to sit with, right? That's why you came to the table today. I would never try to lead you astray. That's not the type of readings that I do, but I will talk and call what I see, right? So follow along with me today as we look at your first and last for the month of September. Let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Virgo in their read. Nice. My eyes always have to adjust when we put that light up, right? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Virgo in their read. Start with that Ace of Cups. What about emotional newness and fulfillment? Already breaking. Okay. Well, that could be terrible shuffling on my part, but just know that between all the reads, I do shuffle the cards a lot, even between similar element signs. So if it is bad shuffling, just know tarot card readers are people too, but also do understand that if it starts to break too much, that's not just me being terrible. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Virgo upon that Ace of Cups in their read. There we go. 1, and 3. Okay. So, in your opening of the aces, I was getting Two of Swords. Why are we feeling confusion? What are we having to meditate on? The Tower. Oh. Okay, sudden disruption and destruction, ultimately in our best favor, but is it fun? Not really. And to the Ace of Wands. Oh, got it. So, I don't want to say we asked for it, but there's a weird way when we say these ideas of abstract want, the universe always corresponds in the most cruelly ironic way possible. The reason I'm saying this is that under emotional fulfillment, right, Virgo, for your Ace of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands. This indicates intentionality, drive of the spirit, the energy to push forward. Now, hopping on that Two of Swords, that represents intellectual confusion of choice, right? Which way do we go? How do we decipher it? How do we try to plan things out? And then sandwich in between both intentionality, that drive, that factor, and the Two of Swords that crossing in a dual wield, we hold the Tower, which one of the major arcana, it gets such a bad rap, but ultimately it's meant to do something for us where some things are just outside of our control, but more than being outside of our control, it's meant to bring a level of fundamental disruption to that which is not working. Because a tower, that lightning bolt that always strikes, can't destroy something if it was built well enough. So we sandwich that idea of just the sudden impact between intentionality and confusion. Why does this provide us emotional fulfillment? Well, part of you is wondering, did I ask for the right thing? Right? Why did we ask for something that we say that we don't want? So I think there's something a little bit a little bit deeper to dig into there, because part of us said that we wanted it, and now it's like we're backtracking, we're backpedaling. No, not like that, not like that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna come back to this concept. Going back to the Ace of Pentacles now. So the cards we need to see, please, upon the Ace of Pentacles. The home element of Virgo, that of Earth, which represents solid opportunities, that which is tangible for beginnings. To the Ace of Pentacles, the Sun. Okay. How so? Knight of Wands. I like that. And the Five of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, I guess the decision is going in the right direction. We have the Sun, which is the optimal mode of happiness, right? It's the happiest card in the deck. Let's just call it what it is. Happiness, sunshine, that which is real, I can bask in. Going to the Knight of Wands, the freedom of the spirit, but also, since Knights are cards of action, taking that fire that's originally had from that Ace, and we say, okay, now we're going to move with it. We're going to find what we want to. We're going to do what we want to. And then there's that Five of Pentacles. And that's the part I find the most interesting, is that how do we still feel left behind? Right? The fear of, it could be the fear of missing out, but it represents that which you consider yourself to be in a form of deprivation, right? Whether that be poverty or the notion of just being left out. And that's what I'm talking about, going back here to your emotional fulfillment. While this has, whatever solid opportunity has been presented to you, there's so much, happiness and freedom to be had. It's like, now I don't want to be free. It's these contradicting and like battling ideas still go back to that Ace of Cups beginning of saying, okay, well, here's what it is. I asked for it, right? Right. So combining these two, I'm starting to get a picture that some intentionality that you try to pursue is having alternate effects from what you originally aimed for. But I mean, technically it fulfilled what you wanted, which is why, there's this back and forth kind of battle going on right now. But let's look further to the Ace of Wands. Reveal the Ace of Wands upon the read for Virgo. What is held upon the Ace of Wands for Virgo in their journey. First and last month of September. Okay, to the Ace of Wands. Page of Swords, okay. Observance, or at least the attempt to learn. How so? The Three of Swords, the issue of heartbreak and remorse. And the Page of Pentacles. I'm getting that in one or two directions, Virgo. You really haven't told me exactly where we're going with this, but sandwiching the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, I call these like the kids of tarot, because again, they take the base and core concept behind each of the elements and they show it in the most vulnerable, but also the most truest form, right? Swords represent truth and learning. Here upon the page, it's like, okay, we're watching, we're trying to observe. Another page that's sandwiching that Three of Swords, we're going to get into in a second, is the Page of Pentacles, right? This is the most solid of all of our tarot kids, right? Because it's saying, okay, at least we'll give it a shot. Doesn't mean it's going to be the best thing. Doesn't mean it's going to be, as fully fleshed out as it probably could be, but it is something that's worth to try. And then we had that Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is almost all characterized by a heart with swords inside of it. This notion of pain, just remorse, things that we can't touch or that we just feel such sharp anxiousness about. Why does this rest upon the willpower of the spirit? And that's what I'm trying to understand right now, because going back here, we said we wanted this, right? And now we're observing its aftermath. Something is not adding up here. Our emotional fulfillment said, hey, this is exactly what we asked for. We got it in some type of way, shape, or form, because something kind of blew up in our face, and now we're left with the aftermath of it. The Ace of Pentacles, well, it allows you to see the sun that is coming out next to that Knight of Wands. It's like, okay, now a new brighter day is ahead of you. You have the freedom that you asked for. And then we got that Five of Pentacles coupling that, saying not everybody wanted to be free. And now over here, 2 pages trying to balance the concept of heartbreak. Are we saying what we really mean? Because we're definitely getting what we asked for, just not in the form that we intended to. Okay, and to the Ace of Swords, what of truth and challenge? What does Virgo need? Okay. Ten of Pentacles popping out right there. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Virgo in the read. Upon that Ace of Swords. A lot of back and forth upon a decision. Coupling that Ten of Pentacles, King of Swords. Okay, trying to make the rightful and best decision with everything that we have now. Five of Swords. What we felt was basically a fluke or a mistake. Now we're trying to direct it in the best way possible moving forward. Yeah, I'm getting a sharp notion of regret for the Virgo that I'm talking to, and you probably know if this applies to you for not already, because that Tower came out. So putting all these things together, now under your truth, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the foundation, the tree of life, what I seek to build out from here, the lessons learned, the lessons gained. Next, that King of Swords, one who makes fast-acting decisions and tries to do it for the best of their own interest. And then the Five of Swords, a feeling of like the war within, the war of the mind, sabotage. Putting all those things together is just like, well, yeah, we're here now. And we're having to learn the lessons of everything that we said that we wanted, and it coming true in the most inconvenient way possible. Underneath it all, Eight of Swords. Yeah, okay, now I'm starting to see some stuff. Eight of Swords, the notion of powerlessness, oftentimes characterized as somebody trapped in an open air cage of swords. This one represented by shears stuck into the ground. So the notion of, are we powerless, or is the choice and conclusion that we're coming to not the most convenient or too painful for us to hear right now, Virgo? Because that's what I'm looking at. You got what you wanted in this very weird kind of backwards kind of way, which, I mean, the universe is funny in the way that it also executes that. And now we're stuck with, well, I asked for it, right? It's this level of unease with the conclusion of how all this played out. Okay, I can understand that. Let's go to ultimatum. So starting with that 10, we look now to the 10 of Cups for Virgo in their read. What of harmony and synchronicity for Virgo in their first and last in the month of September? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, upon that 10 of Cups for Virgo. This break. Let's sit with it. Let's sit with it. What's going on here? Show us the 10 of Cups, that which represents harmonizing with what the universe has to offer. I mean, nice, but it didn't hit the table. The way I do my shuffling and reads, if it doesn't hit the table, I can't take. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Virgo in your read? That's another break. Okay. Okay, if we break one more time, I'll ask the first thing that comes to mind. I think I know what direction this is headed in. So it's the cards we need to see, please, for Virgo and their read. Okay, we hold on to it. To that 10 of Cups. Eight of Swords again. So now we're harmonizing with just the reality of everything setting in the aftermath of what happened up here. Nine of Wands, next to that Eight of Swords. What do our efforts matter? What do they go to? Queen of Cups. Oh, okay, I think I'm starting to get the picture of it. Queen of Cups, the most loving and endearing form of the self. Here, the person is being shown holding all forms of what you would call a cup in the middle of a shore and ocean, being helped out by an octopus. This is a very fun deck that I use in order to get across like the emotive notion that some of the other decks can't do quite easily. Now, I like that a lot. Just the art of everything that gets put in, because every one of them is made by a different artist. So let's talk about it. The most loving and actualized version of the self. That is coupled with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Like I said, we already went over what the Eight of Swords means earlier. So going to the Nine of Wands, what do our efforts actually garner? What do they amount to? Putting that in between, we have one saying that this is what the heart means. We have the other saying, well, I have to sit with the decision now. And my question is, why would we say something we never meant in the first place? Right. We already had this element of, oh crap, this is definitely not going for what I intended it to. And now with that Ten of Cups, looking in reflection and conclusion, we're saying my open heart is abundant and free to express itself. The way that this happened, it's like, I don't know if it was for the effort of protection, because there is this level of persistence and consistency, at least with it, that Knight of Wands wouldn't pop out otherwise. But having that next to the Eight of Swords is giving me the impression, Virgo, that you didn't really, it's not that you didn't want to say it, but what you meant to say was not exactly how it was executed. And so, are we really intentional with whatever we try to draw out and what culminated in this exchange and then this destructive energy of that tower that we had at the beginning? Or are we having to look back in hindsight and say, I didn't really mean all that? Again, I think we want to explore that further and we want to go deeper, but we got to admit what side of the fence we're on before we even go anywhere. To the Ten of Pentacles, reveal the Ten of Pentacles for Virgo in their read. And it's held upon the Ten of Pentacles for Virgo in their read. That's another break. We got one more. So as cards we need to see, please. Virgo and that Ten of Pentacles. First and last month of September. Ten of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Okay, so making the right investments now. Showing what we have in our hoard and trying to build something from that. I see. You, the Hermit, the foundation moving forward. Okay, so the Hermit is the card of Virgo in the tarot deck. We're going to get into that in a bit. And the Nine of Wands. Understanding the power and action of what we have and what we mean. And that kind of ties back to your Ten of Cups over here, but now here in a different way. Materially, as we move forward, the steps that we go along this journey, we actually realize the power of what we do and say, that they actually have impact and meaning. Here, understanding, well, it is what it is now, but more than that, I'm trying to learn how to center me and hold me to the standard that I see and want to be moving forward. I'm saying that because you have the card that represents your sign, Virgo, which is the Hermit in the Zodiac, and the tarot card deck related to the Zodiac, coupling that with the Knight of Wands. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want to right now, but I think you're in a state of contemplation of asking what freedom actually looks like. I'm going to start distinction that some people broke apart from a connection. let's just call it a spade. And that's what I was thinking about earlier, but that's the nicest way I could put it. And the reason being is because the right investment now, understanding the power of your words, the power of your actions, and saying, okay, what do we do now moving forward? Well, you're also seeing it as a foundational point to not only quote unquote improve, because that's such an abstract concept when we don't tie it to certain actions, but be intentional in that in order to not repeat this or have a misconstrued intentionality, what would it take? What is that me that I'm searching for, that elevation that I'm searching for? To the Ten of Wands. So the cards that we need to see, please, upon the Ten of Wands in Virgo's read today. Ten of Wands. Yeah. For the burdens that we carry. The High Priestess. To trust our intuition and know internally what's going on. How so? The Emperor, card of Aries. Here representing the power of choice, and the Ace of Pentacles, to see this as a new opportunity, not only in reflection of, like I said earlier, who I am, who I could be, the power that I hold within, the impact that I can have on others, but also to say, yeah, just because I regret certain aspects of this doesn't mean I'm changing my choice right now, right? So there's the emotional or, you know, internal feeling of withdrawal that we're having right now, Virgo, for, okay, this could have played out better, but ultimately we're still looking towards a new opportunity. We're trying to see the most positive sides of things possible. That's where we stand. We're not budging on that part, right? Could we have done it differently or better? Sure, but my question for you then becomes, given everything that we talked about in your opening, right? This is your first and last in September. Even if it played out differently, would it have been truly conveying that which was already inside of your heart? Would it have been a true conversation? Would it have been a true impact? Because you say you regret something that ultimately you don't even know that you wanted, or you're claiming that you didn't know what you were asking for, and simultaneously you're also not backing down from it. Which one are we choosing? Right? And the conclusion, at least I'm having for you as your reader right now, is that you don't regret where you got into, because you're going to make the best of it regardless. That's been abundantly proven. That's been kind of let known to be loud and clear. However, even if we did have a chance to change whatever was going on back here in your opening, for the new or renewal or everything dynamic that's happening, are we sad of what could have been, or are we really sad of what is right now? Because I'm not getting the sense of like regret or backing down. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen the High Priestess, the Emperor, and the Ace of Pentacles next to each other, right? That's a heavy decision, both intellectually and emotionally, saying, hey, yeah, I'm gonna make the best of it. I got a new opportunity waiting right in front of me, and the Ace of Pentacles tied to your Ace of Pentacles up here. Something's now got to get left behind. There's a lot of light to do. You have the Sun, that Knight of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So why do we feel, again, left out and regretting something that we also say we wouldn't change? This is the debate that I want you to sit with. Going to that Ten of Swords, reveal the Ten of Swords for Virgo in their read. What's held upon the Ten of Swords for Virgo in their first and last. Into that Ten of Swords. Ten of Pentacles. This has popped out one more time over here, right? Ten of Pentacles, okay. Foundation. No matter how painful it is, this is the journey that I'm on now. And I got to take accountability for whatever happened, at least the things that I see as wrongdoing on my part. But more so, how I move forward is realizing, yeah, what I do actually carries weight. And that's something we're not backing off of. Next, Four of Wands. This represents relational dynamics. If you ever heard somebody at a party say, 11, make a wish. Four Wands. Four Wands, right? So when we have all that intentionality put together, it creates like at least mutually agreed upon barriers. Here, it could be a relationship that is coming to an end, but that's really not the point here. It's that whatever relational dynamic that we found home in, we have to accept the truth of reality of where it is right now. Again, kind of recycling meaning. And the Nine of Pentacles, autonomy and freedom. If we say we wanted to be set free, then we have to walk that path. Okay, got it. Underneath it all, the Fool. We went from the powerlessness of choice to the Fool, the number 0, even of the major arcana, that says a new beginning awaits, and the only way I can get there is if I actually believe that it does. I think you're in a state of making a brave leap, but the Eight of Swords right now, we're trying to convince ourselves that we haven't brought about this new beginning or new conclusion, and simultaneously also walk that path at the same time. It's very much like driving your car forward and either looking in the reverse or only focusing on the rearview mirror. At least that's the vibe that I'm getting right now, Virgo. We're not ready to deal with every aspect of what is going on in terms of this distinguishing pattern that's happening. And simultaneously, part of us understands that maybe this was, in fact, for the best. I don't like to say that there's a new beginning on my horizon, but what other conclusion can I make? If this is what makes me happy, just because it's unfamiliar, does not mean that it's unwanted or unwarranted. This is some tough stuff right now. Okay, I see what's going on. And define all the major arcana strewn across the table for Virgo in your read. First and last, month of August. Define the major arcana strewn across the table. Let's start with that tower, that destructive force that we saw at the beginning, and how we saw actual fulfillment in it. Again, it was kind of very contradictory in the beginning. There was a lot of back and forth, and now I'm seeing more of why it was back and forth. So define here the tower as we move on in the read. Ten of Cups, harmony. And that's interesting because we're saying, no, maybe I did in fact ask for this, and yeah, maybe part of me actually did want this to happen. Whatever separation, whatever break apart is going on with you right now, Virgo, and I'm getting this dynamic, it doesn't just have to be a relationship, but it does have to do with a bond that's had between you and another person. Could be a friend, family member, etc., not relative. It's just a bond is coming to a breaking point. Part of you is saying, well, I don't know if I was going to do it, but it's done. Right? It's a hard acceptance of where we are right now. Could have been executed, quote unquote, better. And that's how morality is left for the experts. What I was looking at here right now is somebody who just said, yeah, well, I'm going to trust the universe and say that it's right, even if things are on fire. To the sun, Ten of Pentacles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 10 of Pentacles. So it came out from every single deck. Here, the 10 of Pentacles under that sun, trying to see what the foundation of life can be now. Once I separated from whatever I'm still looking back at because of emotional regret, once I actually start to realize the happiness without you, that I'm better off without it, well then, what does happiness actually mean? I think we're kind of afraid to look right now because it's such an unfamiliar feeling being without whatever dynamic got broken apart. Next. You, Hermit. Ace of Pentacles. Understanding there is new opportunity if I look within and find the answers. And having that underneath your 10 of Pentacles, again, you're embracing this new step of life, even though emotionally we're saying we're not ready. Everything's a contradiction right now, but it's a very beautiful contradiction because it's bringing up a lot of emotional honesty that I felt was suppressed until that breaking point hit. So there is positives in everything, even when, yeah, it's kind of a struggle, at least in the onset. To the High Priestess, King of Pentacles, making the right investment to trust your inner judgment. Okay, now we're listening to ourselves again. Now we're asking ourselves, is this right for me again? We're putting our opinion and reflection into perspective. Upon the Emperor, when we make choices, Page of Pentacles, because there's nothing else, I gotta try, right? Having that page here coupled behind the Emperor, which is very, I don't want to say incredibly masculine, but it is considered one of the most masculine cards in the deck. Coupling that with the Page of Pentacles, my decision, well, we got to put ourselves out there. What's the worst that could happen, right? We're trying to look at the new in the best way possible. And right now, although we aren't emotionally ready, we're also saying tangibly, hey, I got to try anyways. Because eventually I'm not going to be going through the motions. I'm just going to be. Okay, got it. Resolution. Real cards resolution for Virgo in their first and last month of September. What is held in the first and last of Virgo in the month of September? Show us resolution, please. Five of Swords, and there it goes. There's some honesty. Having this as your resolution, given the context of your read, Virgo, the feeling of self sabotage or regret, right? Here, the regret being defined as, wow, this could have gone so much better, but we're still here now, right? So at least that's a form of honesty of saying, I didn't like how it played out, but ultimately, I understand that even if it could have gone better, it doesn't change where I am right now. Four of Wands. Four of Wands popping out again. And now this was a place that we once called home that we felt we somewhat destroyed. Beautiful destruction, though, because it's bringing about a truth that we long time kind of avoided or kept in the rafters. In any situation, while we do have regret of how it played out, we don't regret where we stand. Okay? Underneath it all, King of Cups. To be able to hold all emotionality truthfully and rightfully, we have to say that, yeah, I don't like exactly how this played out. I don't like the conclusions I'm coming to because it all points towards my new beginning. And I have to sit with the duality of emotions here. At least the Virgo that I'm talking to is sitting with some tough stuff of saying, yeah, I didn't like that we broke apart, but I'm not unhappy to be me again. I'm not unhappy to say the things that eventually did come out because either that's how it's going to happen or we're going to grind in the slowest way possible to the worst conclusions we could have, right? It's an either or. But ultimately, the Virgo that I'm looking at says, I can handle all emotions with due time. I don't like the conclusions I'm making right now. Doesn't mean I don't got to live it. So that's what I got in your read today, Virgo, for your first and last September, is that, we didn't like how the situation played out. And whatever this relational dynamic was between you and the other party, it did hit close to home. For some of you, it actually was home. But regardless, part of us is saying, emotionally, could we have done this better? The other part is saying, you know what, I may not have been brave initially to say everything that happened, but that destruction might have been, like a homing missile inbound, right? That kind of stuff that comes in and just moves everything around, pushes everything to the side. Maybe that was the right thing, at least the way that you're trying to look at it, right? You're trying to look at new opportunities with optimism and say, hey, that's what I asked for, right? That's the read that I got for you today, Virgo. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, it's a toughie, but it's your toughie to deal with. And I think you're coming to better conclusions as time moves forward. Happy birthday again. I'll see you around, okay? Bye.